Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to another episode of my recap of Love After Lockup. This is season 2, episode 5, Secrets and Cellmates. But before we jump into this episode, I want to thank those of you who are new to my channel, and I want to thank those of you who have been coming back. Shout out to those of you who were part of my 90 Day Fiancé live yesterday. We had a good time, a kiki. Go ahead and check out that video. I will have it linked above or below, you know, as one does. And go ahead and give this video a like, share with your friends. If you love 90 Day Fiancé, if you love Love After Lockup, share this video on other platforms. This is 2019, you guys. Give the gift of Wah. Let's give a tiny shout out to those who are on Instagram right now. Hey Instagram, it's Wahima, and I'm filming my Love After Lockup recap on YouTube. Well, I'm filming it and it'll be up on YouTube on Monday or Tuesday. So you guys should follow me on YouTube and follow me at Just Call Me Wah on Instagram. All right, you guys, so let's jump right into this episode. The first couple that we're going to talk about, or throuple that we are going to talk about, is Meghan, not Markle, Michael, and Sarah. Okay, you guys, we are going to jump into this episode, and let me tell you that we really saw the content of Michael's character. You hear me? We really saw the trife of his stripes. We really saw how just grimy his grind is. You feel me? So first, where we start off is right after Sarah has picked Michael up from the airport, and she is driving him to his mother's house in Michigan. So she's taking him to a homegoing. So it's a really rejoiceful moment. I mean, he says hi to his little sister, picks her up and spins her around. His mother gives him a great big hug. Sarah seems relatively familiar with the family. I mean, she does have his 2-year-old daughter, so I imagine that she's seen them a couple times throughout the seasons. I'm actually like kind of endeared by it. You know, his mother gives us some screen time, okay? Mama talks about her son and that she does know about Meghan and Sarah, and she knows that her son lives that trife life, and she just says that she's not there to judge and she just supports him anyway. And I'm just like, girl, because it happened to you, moms. It happens to you. It happened to you, and so that's why you're just kind of accepting this bad behavior from your son. Also, what is she supposed to do about it besides tell him that he's doing wrong? And she, I mean, I'm probably sure that she has, but like, what's she gonna do, you know? So Michael says that he's done what he's had to do throughout his life to help his mother out and to help feed the family. So, you know, she's probably a little bit complicit in his dealings. So Sarah's there, and all of a sudden Sarah has switched it up, girl. She has code switched. She's no longer Sarah from Rochester or like Rochelle. She is Sarah with 2 A's and an apostrophe. You cannot tell her nothing. She is flipping that hair. She is rolling that neck. She is snapping those fingers. But before that, let's go back a little bit. His little sister was like, yeah, I got a boyfriend. She wanted to go pick up the boyfriend and bring the boyfriend to meet Mike. I mean, it was a really just sweet moment. And so Sarah was like, you want to go get her? Girl, let's go get her. So they hop in the car and swerve out. I don't know if that was WeTV adding some sound effects, but they sure do love to add some car sound effects, girl. So they skirt out to go get the little boyfriend, and Michael uses this golden opportunity to call his queen Meghan, girl. So he calls Meghan. So we cut to Meghan. Meghan's in the house. She deep cleaning that stove. You know what I'm saying? She's wiping down those counters, and all of a sudden she hears, bring, and she's like, oh, I mean, it's just a bank statement. Nothing. But I don't even care. I don't even care. Because I'm not waiting for his call. These counters need comment. These counters need a deep, abrasive scrub, and that is why I am in here, and that is what I am giving them. So Meghan's trying to pretend like it's not important that she receives his call, but when she receives his call, her whole body lights up from head to toe, okay? From exposed shoulders all the way down to her Jordans. He says, oh, hey, what's up, babe? And she's like, why you haven't called me? And he's like, because I had to get a phone to do FaceTime. And I was like, this smooth. This smooth, okay? He was ready with the reason why he hadn't called her. And then he does a little like manipulator nugget situation. He drops her, give her a little bone, right? To make her feel safe and secure. He tells her the truth, which is what all good liars and manipulators do. They sprinkle in a smattering of the truth so you feel comfort. You feel like, okay, they still do respect me because they're being honest. I wish he had told me, this is what she's thinking and what she thought. I wish he had told me beforehand that Sarah was going to pick him up. But you know what? It makes sense that she's gonna pick him up. And when you have gone so far deep down into a situation that you know if you don't do everything that you can to make sure you come out right, you're gonna be super embarrassed in front of your family. Like, you make excuses and your mind fills in the blanks and your mind does what it needs to do in order to justify this situation. So that is what baby girl's mind is doing, okay? He explains to her that he is with Sarah, he's at his mom's house, and that he still loves her, and that he's going to have something special wrapped up for her. And he even, to add the manipulation cherry on top of the cake, he even hands his mother the phone so that Megan can meet Mama. Megan's like, oh, hi Mom, it's so great to meet you. I'm so embarrassed, I wasn't prepared for this. And Mom's like, hi Megan, yeah, nice to meet you too. Okay, yeah, all right, very nice to meet you. Boy, take this phone back. So Mom and Megan have their first meet. It makes Megan feel very safe and secure. I know it would make me feel very safe and secure. So Michael did what he needed to do. Do you know what I'm saying? He really solidified that. So he hangs up with Megan right as Sarah pulls back up. Sarah gets out with the little sister's boyfriend, and he has a really weird, awkward conversation with the boyfriend talking about, you're not thinking about having sex, right? Oh, you know, you don't hustle. I'm like, Michael, you know that boy don't hustle. Look at that boy. He's a very handsome young man. He looked like a straight up young gentleman. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he has a future ahead of him. He don't look like no hustler. He looked like he got a whole little future ahead of him, and I'm actually kind of excited about it. So then the homies pull up. Well, the homies been there, but let's talk about the homies now. So the homies are there, and Michael's paying a little bit too much attention to the homies. He's excited to see his boys, and I feel that, right? But Sarah is feeling a little some kind of ways. And I don't know why she didn't mentally prepare for him to have to meet and see all the people that he was gonna have to meet and see. And Michael is like, yo, before I go to New York to start this parole, I need to lay some tracks. And I'm just like, huh? You say what, baby Nook? You need to lay some tracks? I would like to hear said tracks is what I would like to hear. So little baby Nook go ahead and has a little argument with Sarah, because Sarah's like, how you gonna do this to me? This wasn't in the plans. Don't be surprised that you turn up here and I'm gone. First of all, bitch, you're not going nowhere. First of all, you're not going nowhere, okay? You're not leaving Michael in Michigan. Anyways, and so she's like, do what you gonna do. Do what you gonna do. I said go. Bye. And then his homeboy is gonna step out of pocket and be like, what you standing over here for? Asking what we doing. You jealous? I was like, pause. That homeboy is real rude, and the fact that Michael didn't check his homeboy lets me know what Michael really feels about Sarah. So Michael is like, you better watch what you say to me. I mean, it's a whole situation. I'm just like, they just going back and forth like two kids. You can tell these are children's. And Megan, I really feel like Megan, from what she's presented to us, is going to be a little too grown for this type of situation. But you never know. She may sink to this level. But these kids are acting up in this front yard over who's gonna go. He's gonna go with his friends, and she should have planned for that, but I know she didn't, and she's heartbroken that he gets in the car and goes with his friend. They only got to spend that whole just ride together from the jail to the mom's house, and after that his attentions were divided, and she was upset about it, especially after she like went and got the sister's boyfriend trying to like be, you know, a good girlfriend or a good whatever, and her little feelings were hurt. Which I can definitely understand. All right, so let's go on ahead and move on from this couple. What else happened? Oh yeah, and also on the way in the car, I don't know if this was a sound bite that WeTV added in, but Michael was like, ooh, I can't wait to give you some of this good D. And I was just like, oh no. Never be faithful to Megan. And he says that the reason why that he's still messing with Sarah is because he feels like Sarah will withhold his daughter from him if he doesn't give her a little bit. But my thing is like, what are you actually planning on doing when you divorce Sarah to get with Megan? She really gonna act a fool then. Could be coming after all the child support. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next couple. The next couple that we're going to talk about right now is Kailyn and Matt. And again, this was a really hard episode for me to watch because Matt is a loose cannon. Matt needs therapy. Matt is still in the mindset of being a drug abuser. There's also a lot going on with him that has more to do with whatever I don't know, he's got some mental problems, you know? So we're in the car with them and they're leaving the cabin and he's happy, she's happy, and she's talking to him about how she's probably got babies in her belly, which is I just hope she's on birth control. Matt says that he's overwhelmed by being out, but he's happy. He's also frightened too. There's a lot going on through his mind, and I'm sure he just really wants to just do some drugs so that he can calm down. We cut to the mom, and the mom is talking about how scared and excited she is to meet him, or to see him again. She hasn't seen him in such a long time. They get to the house and she gives him a great big hug. And he says that he loves his mom, and it's great to know that she's always in his corner, but his ideal situation is not to be living with her. And I'm like, yeah, because she has rules. Everywhere you go is gonna have rules, except for the trap house. So if you don't want rules, you're gonna need to go to the trap house. So they get into the house and mom's like, okay, this is your room. And he starts to reminisce about all the times that he's tried to jump out of the window and leave, and you know, all the tricks that he used to do when he was younger. And they're having a good jovial time, and him remembering this kind of triggers something with him, because all of a sudden he's feeling trapped and he feels like, well, you're not gonna tell me what to do next time. And Kailyn's like, you're not going out of this window, I'm gonna sleep right here. And they're having like a joke about it, and he's just like, well, you're not gonna tell me what to do. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but like, you're not gonna jump out of the window. And he's like, well, I'm not gonna go out of the window, I'm gonna go out of the front door and no one's gonna stop me and be able to do exactly what I wanna do. And she's like, well, I mean, yeah, but you're not gonna go do drugs and you're not gonna get into trouble again. And he's like, but no one's gonna stop me, I can do what I want, I already feel trapped here. And mom just going ahead and left the room because it's getting a little weird and like she doesn't want the drama of it. And Kailyn's like, babe, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that you're not gonna go out the window, please don't go out the window. And he's like, no one's gonna stop me. And it's just like, Matt, what are you talking about? What is happening? And she's trying to like be loving with him, but the thing is, though, what she doesn't understand is Matt has had loving. He's had people be in his corner. He's had support. And until Matt feels in control of his life and goes to therapy and learn why he doesn't feel in control, then nothing Kailyn does is gonna help him. And he says that he thinks that with Kailyn by his side, he could, you know, kick the habit. And I'm like, no, you can't depend on anybody else to help you get through this. This is something you need to do on your own. And Kailyn's trying, but she just doesn't have the skills to do it. Not for his like severe case. Because later on we have a scene where they go to the dentist and she says, you know, I just wanted to see how much a tooth would cost, you know, to fix him up, to make him presentable for interviews. And he gets a little offended. You can see him look at her like, fix me up. Like, Matt doesn't think there is anything wrong with him. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem. So Kailyn is in for a long, hard road ahead of her. And I just feel really bad that she is with this grown 28-year-old man who's feeling some sort of way about being told what to do when obviously he can't manage himself. Like, it's obvious that he cannot manage himself. He has not been able to do it thus far in his life, yet he continuously is asking for freedom to be able to do what he wants. But he makes all the wrong choices, and he thrives nowhere. The dentist tells him that to replace the tooth is gonna cost $5,000, and they get up and run out of that dentist's office so quick. Like, $5,000? I'm like, damn, dental work is expensive. But for one tooth, I feel like you might as well get a whole veneer set. How much is a whole veneer set? It can't be more than $5,000, is it? Dang, $10,000? Got a bag and fix my teeth. Hope you hoes know it ain't cheap. I mean, I didn't think it was cheap, girl, but I didn't think it was like $10K. All right, so the next couple that we're gonna move on to is Lizzie and Scott. In this episode with Lizzie and Scott, this is right after the heels of Scott freaking out 2 weeks ago and Lizzie not being here for it. You know what I'm saying? Lizzie just like wanting to have a wonderful first day. And so she comes over to Scott's room and she gives Scott a mini makeover. And she says that she went to cosmetology school while in prison, but she ended up getting kicked out because she was on heroin the whole time. But she did learn some things. Before she gives him the haircut, he's like, I don't know what she's gonna do, but what I do know is that hair and skin and feelings grow back. What exactly that means, I don't know. God is now getting a haircut from somebody who learned how to cut hair while on heroin. What could go wrong? So she ends up cutting Scott's hair and it doesn't look bad. She gives him a really crazy V in the back that I thought was a little too extra for his age. And she messes up on his beard. So every time she messes up, she's like, okay, I messed up. So now we're just gonna have to cut it even more. She like messed up in the back, and then she was like, uh-oh. And then she messed up on his beard, and she was like, okay, I messed up, so we're gonna have to cut it all off. So she cuts it all off, and he doesn't look half bad. I mean, the whole haircut and beard situation is so ugly, but like he doesn't look half bad at all. If he had a professional cut, I think he would look so much better, girl. We see in his confessionals that it looks like he's got a little bit of an Elvis bouffant situation happening, like it's shorter on the sides and long and black on the top. I don't know if he dyed his hair. Girl, I don't know. He looks different and hilarious. It's like bouffant. This is like bouffant. Girl, it's crazy. So she cuts his hair, and while she's cutting his hair, she's talking about like him and why he let himself get so bad. He says it's because he has low self-esteem, and he's very quick to talk about having low self-esteem. He's very quick to talk about how like he needs her and how he wants her to be in his life to help him with that esteem and whatnot. And she's just like, okay, Scott. Lizzie says that she is traditionally and normally attracted to very handsome men, but those very handsome men treat her like poop. And so at this time in her life, she's looking for somebody's heart, and she feels like Scott has a great heart, but she's got to help him boost his confidence, boost his self-worth, and boost his self-esteem. And so she starts with that haircut. Yeah. So after the haircut, Scott is like kneeled over painstakingly on the floor, picking up gobs of hair off of the ground and putting it in a bag, and Adam walks in, and Adam's like, oh. And he's like, it looks good, it just looks different. You know, you do look younger. And so Scott is just like, okay, well, help me get dressed. And so he starts to pick out clothes because they're going on a date. So then we cut to Lizzie and Jasmine. And so Jasmine is working her little magic girl. Jasmine is trying to get Creep Scott away from her mother. So she's trying to plant little seeds in her mother's mind that tells her mother that Scott is not the person for her. She's like, you know what? I like Scott, but I think that you need to figure out your life on your own. I think you need to learn like who you are because you've been in prison for 10 years. And Lizzie's like, you know, you're right. How does this one look? Okay, let me try on the other one. So she's trying on clothes at the same time. And so she tries on another outfit, and Jasmine's, you know, she's being very careful about it. She's not coming right out saying, I hate Scott, he's stupid, and let's get out of here. She's just kind of dropping little nuggets, like trying to have like a little girl-to-girl banter with her moms, while moms is like getting ready. So moms decides on a tight-fitting black dress, little mini, boobs out, and white shoes. And I just don't understand that outfit, but you know what? Jasmine said that it was okay, so I guess it's okay. But I feel like silver shoes with a black dress, I mean, maybe you would have to do the accessories right. Oh God, guys, I don't know. Fashion faux pas, oh no. Mainly what I was paying attention to is the makeup that she was putting on her face. Lizzie girl, she got, you know, she's like, with the makeup, and it's just like gold on the lid, and then like a brown in the crease, and then like a pink highlight on the brow bone. And that's where she lost me. You know, it was 2005. I get it. I just like, I don't like Jasmine let her do that. So yeah, it was just bad makeup. I feel like Jasmine's just leading her mom astray. Instead of worrying about Scott, Jasmine needed to worry about her mother's makeup. The important things in life. All right, so the next couple that we're gonna talk about, Tracy and Clint. Oh, my faves, my faves. WeTV likes to be inappropriate with their shots, and we'll get to that, but let's just jump to the first part of it. What did I put for my notes? Traffic. What do you want to drink? So we pick up with Clint and Tracy has just come from the shop, and she has all been did up, girl. So they're in the car, and they're deciding where they're gonna eat for dinner, and Clint's like, babe, what do you want to drink? Like, he's really concerned about getting her another drink, and she's just like, tequila, ow. And you know, because tequila gets her warm from head to toe, girl. And Clint is so excited because all he wants to do is have sex with Tracy because she is his goddess and she is so fine to him. He's just like, hurry up. Like, he wants to get out of the traffic so bad to get into them panties. And I have to say that I really do like Tracy's hair. So they get to this spot. Girl, it's I don't know, it's like I don't know what kind of food it is. Clint is trying to get revved up to ask Tracy to marry him. He's so nervous. They're in this elegant place and she is looking so elegant and they don't know the definition of the word elegant. There's so much non-elegant things happening. I'm about to mess all you guys up. Ready? Hey Siri. I know all of your iPhones just went off. I rewatched my other video, and when I said, hey Siri, tell me what the definition of thrive is, my phone reacts every time. Hey Alexa! Did your Alexas go off? Haha. So Clint tells Tracy that he's going to the bathroom. Meanwhile, he's just in the hallway, like beating himself across the face and the head in order to rev himself up like a football player, like he's to ask Tracy to marry him. And you would think that he wouldn't be so nervous. This is literally the third time he's proposed to somebody, but he's very nervous. Like he's never done it before. Like he doesn't have a kid. Like they're talking about kids. They're talking about marriage. I mean, it's just like, it's crazy. They talk about a kid. Talk about getting pregnant within the next 2 years, and Clint is nervous like he doesn't already have a child. Like, I don't know if I told you guys, but he has a child with that first wife, rumor has it. So I believe it. So he comes back out and he gets on one knee and he asks her to marry, and she's so giddy, she's so excited, and then he stands up and she says yes, and he's like, she said yes, and everyone's like, woo, and they're like, how long have you known each other? And Tracy is very smart. She chooses to not tell everybody that she just got out of prison, which I was like, thank God. I was so nervous for her. She was like, quick think. We've been talking for 6 months. And this is the first time we've met each other. And everyone's like, yay! And there's one girl that's like, listen, they're 2 grown adults. They can do what they want to do, okay? So it's all cool. It's all good. They get up out of that place because the macaroni and cheese is too weird for Clint to eat. And they get back to the hotel and they get on the bed and her dress immediately just goes up. You feel like she doesn't even like go into the bathroom and say, let me freshen up. Let's get the cameras out of here. She sits on the bed and just rolls her dress up. And I was like, girl, get right to the point then. Get right on to the point. And Clint is so happy. He's like, boing, yoing, 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 yoing. I mean, it's too much. It's too much. What happens next is too much. Yeah, so Tracy says to the cameras that she hasn't had sex in 2.5 years and she's ready to go. And I'm just like, you know, sometimes you're just like really busy with your life and your career, and then by the time you were ready to look for somebody, everybody you meet is an idiot, and then like you just can't be super casual with everybody like that. And then like you're also worried because like you've gone this long without the STDs and you're just like, thank God, I don't want it. I don't want it. Oh, you got kids? No, you're fertile. I don't want you. And then 2.5 years go by, or you've been in jail. So those are the 2 ways it happens. All right, so we leave Tracy and Clint making a porn, and we are not interested in it, but WeTV wants to shove it down our throats, and we're a little annoyed by it. So we fast forward to the next couple, and the next and last couple is Marcelino and Britney. Marcelino, once again, this is the next day or something, and Marcelino is again showing his ass. So they are at this really nice restaurant. The view is beautiful. There's a like fake lake behind them. Marcelino is annoyed because they are meeting one of Britney's friends who's already been out of prison, who used to be her cellmate. So they're very close. They consider each other best friends. And she's late. I don't know how late she is, but it's late enough to where Marcelino is actually offended, as though he has something to do and is paying for this meal. I don't think he's doing either of those things. I think this whole thing was set up by producers. So if anybody should be annoyed with the situations, it's the producers, not Marcelino trying to control shit. And then finally she shows up, camera ready, okay? You know what I'm saying? She had the eyelashes on, she did the highlight, she was getting ready. So Marcelino tries to come with like a snide remark to her, like, oh, well, how far away did you live? Did you run into traffic? And she's like, no traffic at all. I just live right down the street, so it was very convenient. Like, being a dick. And even he said something to the waiter before she got there and was just like, oh, you know, why would you be late to such a beautiful, elegant place? I'm just like, Marcelino, you're not running this show. The 5 or 6 people that are behind the cameras are the ones running the show, okay? If anybody should be annoyed, it's the person who's doing sound check, who's waiting for Sasha to get there so that they could put the mic on her. So out the gate, he's very rude to Sasha, and it is so uncalled for because Sasha seems like a really nice person. You know, she's like telling Britney, you know, this is my best friend and we got really close together. It was just me and her in this tiny, tiny space. I had sex with her maybe, we don't know. But the fact is that Marcelino is trying to like break them apart, and she wants to let Marcelino know that no, we are friends. We supported each other when times were tough. You know, at some point he asks Sasha why she went into prison, which Britney finds to be very rude. And I guess it is a faux pas for him to ask that, especially in the manner in which he asked it, and especially upon first meeting her, right? So she gives him the look real quick of like, what? And she says, you know, I was young, I was in a relationship with somebody, I loved him, and you know, things happen and I found myself in prison. And I'm just like, yeah, that is something that I know can happen. Like, there are young girls who are very impressionable who do things thinking that, you know, they're in love and that they'll take one for the team, and you know, because these men prey on them and make them feel like this is their duty as a woman to stand by their man and blah blah blah, right? So it happens. And Marcelino is just like, oh, so you like thugs, huh? And I'm just like, what? Oh, so you like thugs? He is just so hell-bent on trying to control her friends and who she's around, and I guess she can't be around other people who are felons, and so he's worried about that at all. But find out the facts, have the conversations first, don't attack the girl. They were just, you know, talking about situations and family, and Marcelino was like, no, your family's the one that's supposed to be in your corner, your family's the one that supports you. And Britney was like, I'm sorry, what? I don't agree with that at all. You know what my family did to me. You know about my life. You know that I ran away at age 12. You know that I was homeless and that the people who helped me out were strangers. What are you talking about? And Marcelino is either mad or he feels dumb for being an idiot, but he gets up and goes to the bathroom where he should have been the whole time. He should not have been at this meeting at all. I'm done with Marcelino. Like, I understand what he's trying to do, but that tough love-ish is so whack. And I just can't wait for him to redeem himself. And until he redeems himself and until he's a better person, like, I don't want to see him. His whole Captain Save-A-Hole complex that's happening, it feels manipulative and it feels borderline abusive. And I don't think he's good for Britney at this time, what I'm seeing right now. I don't know where they are now, but I'm just saying at this time, what I'm seeing right now, I don't like it, you know? He's not sensitive to her. He's not sensitive to the situation. He's just like a bulldozer. He's just so controlling. And I'm really proud of her, but Britney is standing her ground and she is speaking up for herself. Britney was 15 and pregnant and on the streets, and that's how she got into drugs, and that's how she got into a life of crime. You know, she got into it because of really terrible circumstances from her childhood. And if Marcelino is going to be somebody who's trying to step in and be that parent figure as opposed to a partner, like, he's just gonna end up running her away. So after he goes to the bathroom, they have the after you go to the bathroom, Sasha and Britney talk, and Sasha asks Britney if she's told Marcelino about this other girl who's out of prison, who she was dating for a long time, and who wants to meet up. And Britney says that she doesn't think it's important and that she didn't have to tell him everything, but I do think that she knows that it is important and she needs to tell Marcelino, because Marcelino thinks that she was only bisexual because she was in prison, and that she requires the kind of love or the kind of sex that only a man can give, and that is a falsity, and she needs to clear that up right away. I feel like Marcelino's gonna get his little feelings hurt, 100%. And I think that she needs to clear up all of this stuff with him so that she doesn't end up on her own and homeless, because he seems like the kind of person who would just throw her out. And I don't want that for her. So I think she needs to come clean. I was just really hoping Marcelino would redeem himself in this episode, but he hasn't, so it sucks, and I just hope that he does eventually. Alright, you guys, so that is the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let's have a kiki and a conversation in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. If you like this video, go ahead and thumbs it up and share it on other social media platforms. Follow me on Instagram. And remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.